Hello, precious people. I'm Jacqueline Parks, and I'm bringing you a new painting today, something kind of unusual for me. It's a creature from Avatar, and it kind of looks like a blue whale maybe, or a humpback whale in the movie. And if you haven't seen the movie yet, I highly recommend it because it was so amazing and beautiful, and the story is just beautiful too. So today I'm going to be painting those creatures, which I believe they're called a Tulkun. And we're going to be using a bunch of different blues that I have. So I have like all these different blues, and whoops, and they're just, I don't even know what they are. I'll probably list them all in the description so that you can make sure you have them on hand. But if you don't, any blues will do. In fact, I was debating whether to use my tube paints or just stick with my palette, which I have all these blues, which I don't even know what they're called. This is a palette that I got from Hobby Lobby, and as I use the paints, I do fill them up with a tube paint that's like Winsor, Newton, or Cotman, something like that. So anyways, hope you enjoy the video. Okay, now that we've got the paper taped down, we can start drawing. And I like to use this app called DaVinci. And here you see I am positioning it where I want it on the paper and just kind of lightly sketching it, the outline and any details that I see, and trying to just get the right shape and dimensions, proportions right. And the rest I'll do after I finish this part, and I'll just do it by looking at it. Sometimes I could do this, but it's faster just to have the DaVinci help me out with it. As you can see, I can get zoomed in on details and do all the little stripes and shadows, kind of where I'm going to divide things, and the eye. And the baby, I couldn't really tell where his eye was in the photograph, but that's okay. I found it on the internet, this image. It's probably copyright, but I'm not selling this or anything. Just showing you how to paint it. Okay, so as I'm finishing up, I can show you how you can adjust the opacity and see if it's what you, if you copied it or traced it correctly. And now I'm just going through all of the blues that I have. And my daughter got me this cute little ceramic turtle palette that I am totally in love with. It comes with the little shell comes off, and then you can make that the little water dish, and a little baby turtle too that you can rest your paintbrush on. And so you can see I'm definitely adjusting the drawing with erasing some things and repositioning the eye. Apparently I thought it was closer to the front. And that's kind of what's wrong with the DaVinci. Sometimes you can't really tell if you don't have a really clear picture what's what. And like this is not a very clear picture that I'm using, but hopefully we can get a good painting out of it. Okay, so now I'm starting to mix my blues together to create a unique blue. And I did use some Paynes gray as well, which is kind of a bluish black. And when you're watercoloring, you need to remember that you're going to be doing layers upon layers. So I tried to start with the lightest layer first and add on top of that some dimension with the darker values. So you can see that I'm just kind of creating the undertones right now. And I put a finished picture of the painting in the corner just so you can compare what I'm doing to the finished product. And I think what I ended up doing was moving the eye. I know I did that earlier with erasing. This is a creature that's kind of based off of our whales, but it's on Pandora. So they actually have 4 eyes, but I didn't draw the second set because they're kind of small and you don't really see them. And there's a lot of different, they have like 4 sets of flippers, and this one you can't really see it because it's coming straight at you. So I didn't really focus too much on that second set of fins. I think the baby has them too, but I didn't really focus too much on them. You can see like little protrusions that are just kind of darker. Those are the ones that are basically the secondary set of fins. But you can really get creative if you wanted to, and because you're the artist, you can do whatever you want with your painting. So what I really love about watercoloring these creatures is because they're in the water, and I believe the paint moves in such a way that it gives an illusion of being underwater, and the shadows and the highlights and things like that from above really is flowing and fluid on the skin of the creature. And another thing to remember when you are watercoloring, that there's nothing truly bright white. Sometimes in the eye there's that glimmer of sunlight or light from the room if you're doing a portrait of a dog or a cat. But in this case, the light is from above, but I do leave that white around the eye. There's a little speck in the eye. And that was actually in the photo reference, so that's why I kept it in there. But you'll notice that the belly and chin area and part of that horn on top it's white, but it's not going to be a pure white. So definitely use your blues and water them down and just color in the whole creature if you wanted to in that pale blue, because that's going to read as white on the animal. If you all have not seen the movie yet, Avatar 2, Way of Water, I highly recommend it. It was a beautiful movie. I was on the edge of my seat the most of it, even though it was like over 3 hours long. And it just was breathtaking. These animals that James Cameron has created, and the storyline for these whale-like creatures is just beautiful. And there is, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but there is definitely some high intense emotions surrounding their storyline. So definitely, if you've seen the movie, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. I know I truly enjoyed this movie, and I have to go back and watch it again because it was just so amazing. Plus, I really just love the ocean and the beauty of sea life. I've always been drawn to the sea and enjoy painting or drawing creatures under the sea. Even when I was a little girl, I would just draw pictures constantly of sea life. Just make it up in my head even. So let me see what we're doing here. In the video, I am wetting the paper all the way around the Tulkun. And I'm just kind of zigzagging my paintbrush back and forth. Maybe I should try and slow down this section of it, but really it's not a thought out process. You're just kind of going back and forth, and leaving that spot of white in the top middle of the painting because you want to give the illusion of light filtering down through water. And I have the photo next to me on my computer so I can reference it, and that's how I was able to kind of capture a lot of the light and how it was playing through the water. Just let my eye and my hand do its thing, and as you practice doing this, your painting skills are going to get better. And for me, I'm very impatient about letting paint dry. So I think in this section I did let it kind of dry a little bit before I start adding more layers, but I really needed to get that dark value at the bottom and the lighter value at the top. So I think I'm trying to layer it a little bit more, and maybe even after the fact, I think I go back and layer it again just to really bring out the contrast in the values. And I do believe after it's dried, I add a little bit of highlights with my white gel pen. Let's see if, and a little bit of the Paynes gray just to bring out the value of the underside. But there I'm like adding some white highlights, and I smudge them out a little bit because I don't want them to be bright white. They are underwater. So I hope you enjoyed watching me paint a picture of the Tulkun. And if you liked it and you want to see me do some more avatar creatures, let me know in the comments below. And since today is New Year's Eve, I hope you have a wonderful and safe New Year's Day. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.